What's going on, everybody?
Hey, y'all.
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We got a full house tonight. We appreciate everybody for being here for episode 31 of the Social Den, a very special episode, which we will get to in a second.
Mhm.
We are your hosts, CJ and Sharice, as always. I hope everybody hit the thumbs up on your way in. Hope everybody has a comfortable chair that they're sitting in. Hope everybody's comfortable. Hope you're ready to have a great show because we are very excited about today's show. Or tonight's show.
We are very excited. And let me just share something with y'all because y'all know we transparent. Y'all might see me pick up the spray and spray. I got gas and I ain't about to blow us up here, okay? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Let's get to these hellos in this chat.
Y'all excuse my wife.
Don't act like you ain't letting them out just because yours don't stink. Y'all might hear his and don't smell nothing. Mine's silent and they blowing us out.
All right, y'all. Let's get to this chat. Shout out to the 22 million in the building. Let's get to the chat, y'all.
All right.
CJ and Sharice is in the building every single week. Every single week. House of X, what's going on, fam?
Hey,
House of X and Rico actually are pre-comments. So I don't know if House of X is still. I see Rico is still here, but anyway, shout outs to House of X. What up, fam?
Hello.
Rico, I see you. What's going on, Rico?
Hey, Rico.
We appreciate the congrats on the 2,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. The Honorable Joni Meeks is in the building.
Love.
Welcome in, welcome in. The Essence of Sonia in the building.
My motherfucking sister.
Doing her thing with that Martin like she can. We appreciate it. Let's see. Tamika Van in the building. Welcome in.
Hey, Tamika. Where your boy? Oh, he all the way over there. Frank said, hey, Tamika.
We got Sipping with Share Magic in the building. Welcome in.
Hey, Share Magic.
Thank you so much for being here. Jazzy V in the building.
Hi, my Jazzy love.
What's going on? Official Jamie in the building. Welcome in.
Hey, Jamie.
Let's see who else we got up in the building tonight. Dr. Cowboy in the building. What up, Aunt?
Our famous favorite Aunt.
Him in the hands. What's going on? We building over here, aka Tom. Welcome in. We appreciate seeing you every single week. Thank you so much. Let's see. Make sure I ain't forgetting nobody.
Did we say Tamika?
Yeah, we said Tamika. Just want to make sure I. Bass Chick, welcome in.
Hey, Bass Chick.
Welcome in, welcome in. Mama Bear in the building. Welcome in, Mama Bear. There they are. King and Queen Meet and I in the building. Welcome in, bro and sis.
Bro and sis.
Let's see who else is in the building. Make sure we ain't miss nobody. T and Sharinda in the building. Welcome in. Morris McNair in the building. Welcome in.
Hello.
We got some heavy hitters in the chat tonight. Let me make sure I ain't miss nobody. Trey and Nene in the building. Welcome in.
Hey, my big brothers. Everybody make sure y'all say happy birthday to my sister Nene.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday, beautiful.
And then right after this live, y'all head on over to Trey and Nene and check out the brand new skit that they just dropped at 7 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Who else? I think that's it. I think we hit the bottom, y'all. All right, y'all. So without any further ado, we're gonna keeping our guests backstage long enough. This is a very special edition of the Social Den, an LGBTQ edition of the Social Den. Bringing awareness, and y'all about to. I mean, for people that don't know, you about to know. You know what I'm saying? You about to find out. You about to find out what the movement is all about and all of that good stuff. So we have some very special guests backstage, and without saying anything else, somebody just say their names and bring them up. You know what I'm saying? Rip the Band-Aid off, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? So without any further ado, welcome to the stage, Anisha and Roel Waters.
Hey. Hello. Hey, everybody.
What's going on? How y'all feeling? How y'all living?
I'm good.
Y'all good?
Good.
I'm also feeling really good today.
I know.
I can't complain.
Good. That's good.
That's the best thing. That's good to know. That's good to know. We appreciate y'all for being here for episode 31 of the Social Den. You know what I'm saying? We've been looking forward to this since we actually asked y'all to be on the show. We've been actually looking forward to this. And you know, we're about to have a good time tonight. We really are. I really was excited. And because I brought this idea to my wife, and she was like, "Absolutely, let's do it." And then, she said, "I got the perfect, I have the perfect people for it," and here we are. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stop running my mouth. And I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and do y'all thing. So just introduce yourselves and just let everybody know who y'all are.
All right. You want to go first? You want to go second?
So I can go first. I'm Anisha. I go by Zakai. I am a lot. I'm just a lot. I do a lot.
You're gonna hear that a lot.
So yeah, I do a lot. So not only am I doing photography, but also special effects. We also have like our own podcast with our group. Sassy Hose is what the name is. And yes, hose is on the end of it. I know a lot of people are like, why? So the reason why I love that our name is Sassy Hose, our group is at Sassy Hose, is one, we're all inclusive, but also we do a lot, like a lot. Everyone does some kind of, cooking, baking, music, mixology, cosplaying, video games, entertainment. Like our groups, just we invite people that do a lot. So, but yeah, I'm not gonna steal that all the sunshine.
Okay. Well, hello. I am Roel the Rabbit, and as I like to let everyone know, there is no better place to be than to be here with me, because today I'm on the social den. So where is the place to be? Okay. And as you can probably tell from the little introduction, I myself am a content creator. So I do, to say the things that weren't mentioned, I do a lot of videography. I do editing, pictures. I'm more on the model side now because she took over the mantle of the family photographer. But,
I didn't.
But yes, I'm on the model side now. So I'm on the other side of the camera. And I also just personally, my main goal ever is to put a smile on your face, no matter the case. So that's what we're here to do today.
I know that's right.
You got rhymes today.
Those are my catchphrases. Catchphrases. Got to instill those into my brain so I can say them.
Man, we always put some rhyming words over here.
Right, you over here spitting bars like.
Exactly. Poet didn't even know it.
They have a great podcast. I enjoy listening to the podcast as
I'll just pull it up now. Might as well.
It is 4 of them. It's Anisha, Roel, and then they have 2 of their other friends, and then they just talk about different topics. And I mean, it's great. They'll keep you laughing, they keep you entertained, give you something to think about. It's great. So check it out, y'all.
Absolutely. And how long have y'all been doing the podcast?
We're only about 10, 11 episodes in. So we just recently started. So
12 episodes.
We're 12 episodes now.
12 episodes.
I'm sorry. 12 episodes in. So we recently just started. We beforehand, our original crew was just me, Roel, and our best friend, and we started off as like a gaming crew, creating content for gaming and streaming on Twitch and stuff like that. But then we started to expand because it was like, we have so many talents. Why are we just stopping here? So now we have streaming, and then we roped in new people, which one is Mariah, who is our 4th member, and we just brought in another member who will be joining us in videos and content. So that makes 5 of us all together that are going to be doing things from like volunteer work, video content creation. Some will be doing some modeling, but networking with other people and just getting our talents out there where we can. So we're just starting. The podcast just started this year, actually. I think we do bi-weekly episodes.
Full force this year. We definitely started like a little taste at the end of last year, but we started like going full force, keeping our schedules together, making sure that all of us are ready to do our recording so that we can have our schedules put together so that we can also do other stuff. Right. And now that we have like that open communication going back and forth, I feel like we're a well-oiled machine right now. We're a well-oiled machine in multiple fronts.
That's amazing.
That's great. Welcome in, big sister Vicky Boo. I see Sassy
Sonia,
and MLW Fisherman. So welcome in, y'all.
Yeah, welcome in. And y'all make sure y'all hit that link and subscribe to Sassy Hoes podcast. Is it Sassy Hoes podcast or just Sassy Hoes?
Sassy hoes.
So just sassy hoes. So like the the podcast is actually Speak Sassy, Drink Classy.
Okay.
And each episode it's wild. It's a wild ride.
If you
Well,
like
that's good.
talking with your friends and your friends also have ADD and can't keep a topic, you'll love it.
Okay.
Definitely a good one.
So everybody hit that subscribe button if y'all don't mind. We definitely appreciate it.
As y'all know, Sonia dropped her famous line, take y'all bald-headed asses over there. Leo.
Absolutely. And they are subscribing. The subscriber count is going up. So they
Beautiful.
definitely are subscribing.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
No problem. Absolutely. Well,
All right, y'all. So if y'all are ready, we're gonna go ahead and get into the topic of the night. Ask some questions.
and if anybody in the chat has questions, please ask the questions, but keep it respectful and positive if you can. We definitely appreciate it. And we're going to have us a good time tonight.
Absolutely. And if there's anything that's
Yes.
extra I don't want to answer, feel free to say we ain't answering that shit. And
Answering
move
that
on.
shit.
I will say I'm most of the time an open book, so there's very little that I won't answer.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you have a question, do not be afraid to ask it because I will most likely not be afraid to answer.
I'm pretty open.
Well, we always keep our questions like,
Yeah,
G-rated.
we try
and
not to go get too
positive and,
personal.
very respectful. So
Appreciate it.
All right. So the first question that we have this evening is, when did you first realize that you were attracted to the same sex?
Mine is a double layered answer. So did you want to go first?
Mine isn't double layered. So I knew for a while actually. And like growing up in like that God-fearing Christian household, like I never wanted to dwell on it, but like I knew as like early as like middle school. And I always just felt like it was like so wrong because, you hear like your preacher, your Bible school teacher, like so everybody's just being like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But like at the same time, I'm like, I can't help how I feel. So like for me, it was as early as like literally like grade school. But I always felt like it was so wrong. And I remember like my first crush. And everything. Like, but for me, I want to say probably around like 10 or 11 was like when I really realized it.
Okay.
All right. So for me, the reason it's double layered is because liking the same sex wasn't really the full picture that I had to realize. And what I'm saying by that is that I am a trans woman. So I was assigned male at birth, and I grew up. I didn't start transitioning until I was like in my 20s. So I grew up kind of the same way, heavy Christian household, like being gay is bad, all that, blah, blah, blah. But I was like having thoughts of like, I feel like everything would just be better if I was a girl. So like I had that thought process before I started liking guys in the first place when I was pre-transition. Right. Then once I hit my 20s and started expressing myself more and more, I actually started my hormones. I came out as trans, saw my close friends. Then that evolved into coming out to everybody, no matter what, being trans full time. And that's when I finally realized that I think I like guys too. So like it was a realization after I finally learned myself. That's where it started for me. So it was like 20-ish something for me. Okay. So it was definitely later down the line, but I definitely had to quote unquote love myself first before any of that was realized.
Okay. Well, y'all kind of answered the second question along with that, as I was going to ask how you felt and stuff, which y'all said you felt wrong because you was brought up in that Christian household. So you were kind of hearing that it was wrong to have these feelings.
Right. Like,
it's hard to be a rebel.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a rebel in that way. Right. It wasn't hard to be a rebel in other ways, but in that way, that one was like really, really, really hard. And that's just mainly because like how my family was, it was like church. We were in church at least 4 days out of the week half the time. So
man.
You had Bible study, choir practice, then your mama had some kind of Bible study and choir practice, you was in there with her.
Oh,
Lord,
Even if it wasn't your night, you was in there with us. So
You couldn't be at home alone. Nope. You
Right.
come with me.
wow.
Lord have mercy.
But-
I mean, did it take your family? So did it take your family a while to like come around and just accept who accept it?
For me, a majority of my family still doesn't accept it, so I don't really talk to them.
Right.
Except like the core four, and that's all that really matters to me at this point. So I've developed my own family. I have held tight to the ones that held tight to me, so I'm good. I'm chilling.
Good. That's
yeah.
good. It is what it is. I mean, I understand that. I mean, if you can't accept me for who I am, then kick rocks, peace, deuces.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So I
then
get that part.
for me, it was my mother found out first, but when she found out, like it just spread like wildfire to like the rest of the family. So my immediate family accepts me for who I am, and they love Ro. Like no problem. That extended family, those cousins and everybody, yeah, not so much. I could show up to a family reunion and not be in a single picture.
Wow.
That actually happened.
That actually did happen. A couple of cookouts and family reunions, we were not in a single picture unless we took it of ourselves, or like my mother or my grandmother took that picture.
Do we want to tell T the T of that also? Because we brought a friend to that Thanksgiving, and they had multiple pictures of our friend that nobody knows
at the same table as us. We were just cut out the photo.
Mm-hmm.
So,
so how does that? I mean, how does that make y'all feel? Do y'all address it? Do you?
So I used to address it. Like I used to correct my family and like the proper pronouns. I used to, be like, well, what is it about us that y'all don't love? You say you still love me no matter what, but then like now I'm not even in the photo album at this point for some of my family. And it's just kind of like over time, I think after us being together for 2 years, I just said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I was like, you either love us as who we are or not. But the funny part is those same people who cut us out the photos wanted to be at the wedding. So
wow.
It's given what's the reason?
Right.
Yeah, that just comes off as phony.
Right.
Trying to be nosy, but and messy. That's very messy as well.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, I mean, so far so good, man. I mean, I know this is about to be good. I'm just excited, man. I love how transparent y'all are. And the chat is rocking. Everybody, we got some questions from the chat. We about to ask those questions. We got shout out to the 18 million in the building. Real quick, if y'all don't mind, everybody, please make sure you like the live, share the live out, y'all. Especially everybody with a platform. Go ahead and share us out so we can get some more footsteps coming through the door. And of course, this portion of the show where we get questions is called From the Den, y'all. And our first question comes from the great Trey and Nene. They say, how do you deal with people who don't respect your relationship and think all people that are part of the LGBTQ community are promiscuous and sleep around?
That's actually a really good question. So we've come across some people like that who, like I know when we're out in public, we get people that stare, people that, question at times, like what's happening here. And for people who actually walk up and ask us questions or like want to know answers, we kind of just give them and let them know. For if you're willing to be educated on the LGBTQ community and who we are as a couple and like our journeys and stuff, like we'll educate you. But if you're coming at us in a very negative like mindset, like you're just being negative, nasty, you like throwing slurs our direction, honestly, we don't even confront you. We're not even paying you any mind. You don't even exist to us. And I'm famous for just tuning out all the negativity. You could be in my face saying it and I could look right past you. And I feel like you do pretty much the same thing.
I do exactly the same thing, but like times 10, because I can't tell you guys how many times we were out doing whatever and we would get home and Nisha would be like, I can't believe such and such looked at us that way. That was unnecessary. And I was like, huh? What?
Yeah.
That happened?
When it comes to family, I'm like, I view everything. So like when it comes to like my family or me meeting people in her family or something like that, and you're just staring and I see you hit like a or something, and you have nothing else more to say but just stare and look weird, I'm not even talking to you. But I'm gonna notice it because then I'll know like, oh, you want to invite like Aunt Ethel to the party? No, we not. She's not here for anything. Don't invite her to nothing. Like,
Right.
so I am very in tune with like the surroundings. Ro will go with the flow.
I'm in
She
my
don't
own
care.
world.
But
I'm in my own world. I don't worry about anybody else unless you are in my face at the moment. And if you're off to the side making faces and I happen to catch you, I'm just gonna smile at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
They don't know what to do after that.
Yeah.
I think my best experience with people who it's not really not respecting, it's more so confusion are with little kids. Because this happens the most that I notice is when kids are just like, and they like want to ask, are you a boy or a girl? Because I've had some that just come up and ask me, and I always just tell them I'm a girl. There's nothing else, and they're just like, okay, and then walk away. And
kids
then
are so innocent.
the parents always have one of two reactions. They have the come on, don't do that, or they'll just say thank you and then walk away.
Right.
So it's usually like people make situations harder than they need to be.
Right.
If you just let things happen, well, a lot of times people fall in place. It's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's no humans on the earth more honest than a child.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I think like my sister and them had like really good questions. We visited them and they just wanted to get like a more understanding of what's the difference between like someone who's transgender and someone who's like a drag queen and someone who just cross dresses. And they were genuinely like asking questions and trying to understand everything. And I like that I appreciate.
Right.
Because it was just like, they were like, I'm gonna love Roel regardless, but I just want to know so I can get the questions off my mind. Or if people are asking questions, from their side of the family with her and who she was with at the moment. So I was like, I'm fine with this. And Roel was like, I'd rather you be educated than ignorant. So
yep. Every time.
So can you educate us and anyone in the chat who may not know? Can you answer that question that was asked to you?
Yeah. You want?
Wait, what happened? I'm sorry. What was the question?
No, Anisha said that her sister was asking them questions about the difference between transgender.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Seeing someone being transgender.
Okay, so like at base level, being trans is just not agreeing with what you were assigned at birth. There's a lot of nuances to it right now, but to put it as plain as possible, it's just not agreeing with what you were assigned at birth. So like if you were assigned male at birth, if you either say I don't have a gender or I am a female, that's literally you're trans. That falls under that category. So that's the trans side. For drag queens, it's an art form. It's a performance. It's a visual walking piece of art kind of deal. So like with drag queens, everything's over the top, everything's in your face, everything's real
over exaggerated
drama.
Yes.
Drama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drama. That's the drag queen side of it. And then for cross-dressers in most situations, because this is the one that can kind of like teeter between the two, it's just a feeling that makes you feel good. Like for example, eating that one piece of candy that you know you like more than the others, but they all supposed to taste the same, but you like the yellow ones because yellow is your favorite color, so that's what makes you feel good. So you eat all the yellow ones first. That's what cross-dressing is. It's just something that makes you feel good, so you do it.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. And that's for anybody that if you know that if wondered or didn't know, there you go. You know what I'm saying? And like we said, if y'all have questions, ask them. Just make sure it's respectful. That's all we ask.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's respectful. So we have a couple comments. Tamika Van said, "It's all right, girl. You know who family and who not. Sometimes you just have to build your own."
Yeah.
And I did. Thank you, Tamika.
Definitely did.
Absolutely.
We know who our tight circle is.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. Keep the circle tight.
Yes.
Sonia said, "Woo, woo." How you say that? Woo,
Woo child.
Oh, woo child. Y'all better than me. She said, "Y'all better than me. I've been told them." See, she writes the way she talks.
Kiss my mama ass. He not knowing me.
See, the only reason I don't want to get too big on confronting people is because I personally just happen to know how to break arms and legs. So I don't want to have to take it nowhere because then I'm going to get a charge and I'm going to have to be somewhere I don't want to be for a long time. And I don't want to have to deal with that. So if I just stay in my lane, keep it moving and not have to go there, I would love to, because if someone tries to take it there with me, it's not going to end pretty for both of us. So I don't want that.
Right.
Absolutely.
There you go. There you go.
Keep your peace and your freedom.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just a fun fact. She don't actually do that types of things, y'all. But
that's all I'm saying. I know.
But she did. She used to wrestle and stuff. So
hey, man, ladies, listen. We understand.
I think we violent.
I don't want to do it.
Sometimes people get overly disrespectful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that. You know, just respect my space and I'll respect your face.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Pretty much.
There you go.
So
the rhymes.
Vicky's World said, "Thank you all for being here. The special episode is supported by love and positivity. Any slick talk or disrespect will not be tolerated."
And thank you, Sister Vicky.
Appreciate that. Let me make sure I ain't miss nobody. Tamika said, "Well, I wish you two ladies all the happiness and good love you can get."
Oh, thank you.
I gotta do this one.
Here's a good one. Jazzy said, "I have a brother that is a drag queen, and I go to the drag queen parties. To be honest, they are so live and very fun."
They are.
They are. Like, we know a few of them. They are very loving, very fun. The parties are definitely very lit.
I've heard that. Because because RuPaul would be considered a drag queen as well, right?
He is the drag queen.
The drag queen, right? Exactly. So that's why actually how I learned about drag. You know what a drag queen was and all of that, because RuPaul did a special back in the day, but RuPaul was dressed as a man. She switches up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She switches up and she looked like, she be looking like you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
What?
It was like, who is? I said, who the hell is that? They said, it's RuPaul. I said, get the fuck out of here. There ain't no goddamn RuPaul.
There's a term for what you're trying to describe, and it's called trade.
Trade. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's when you can do both sides.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. I was like, that's RuPaul. And he got you. Like, wait a minute.
He slows down like that?
Nah, his voice did. His voice went down a little bit. I was like, that's Ru. Okay. All right. Okay. I see what you're doing over there.
I would love to go to a drag show one day. Me and my god sister supposed to go to one.
Oh my god, go to one. Or like the Dragon Brunch are cool too.
Okay.
Yeah, find that like one of the drag shows and the brunch. Those are fun too.
We used to go to quite a few of them before that one. I can't remember the name of the club, but we used to go to a bunch of drag shows.
Grand Central.
Thank you.
Okay.
In Baltimore before they closed, used to have drag shows almost like every other Saturday.
Oh, okay.
You just never know. You never know. I mean, I'm just happy that we have there is awareness. We have people like y'all that will bring awareness and answer questions, because people, there's people out there that want to know more, but they just don't know how to ask the questions because they don't want to offend somebody, or because it's a very touchy subject, especially today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Very touchy today. So, I mean, I can understand where some people get uncomfortable because they maybe don't know how to word it or something like that. So, I mean, that's why it's great to have people like y'all that, as y'all said, an open book and can spread
Mhm.
this and help people learn about the movement and everything, So,
Yeah, people who ask us questions, we don't see it as like malicious or
right.
aggressive or anything. So like if you ask a question and you genuinely look curious or like you're very curious about it, we're going to answer your question.
Right.
No problem.
Absolutely.
So,
And then to just overall help with like, if anyone happens to be in here and is falls into that category of you're like scared to ask because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that, 2 things really just help out, make everyone feel valid. Making use of people's internal names. So if you just ask their name, anytime you want to use like a third party pronoun, just say their name instead if you are unsure,
Right.
or just say they or them. Like a lot of people specifically want to be called they them
Right.
pronoun wise, but you can't go wrong with either using they them or just their name. Like it works in every situation. So like if you want to try to avoid any type of I misgendered such and such, just start using their name every time.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Welcome in, Annabelle. Hey,
Annabelle,
Auntie.
and Aunt. I mean, Auntie. We saw Aunt earlier. Make sure we ain't missed nobody. I think that's it. That new people that came in. Shout out to the 22 million in the building, y'all. Episode 31 of the Social Den, very special episode with our special guests, Anisha and Rowell Waters. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you got another one?
So my next one would just be like, what advice would y'all give to anyone who feel like they are struggling with trying to live in their truth and tell their family or friends, that they are wanting to, live their life the way that they want to live their life?
Start close. And what I mean by that is you don't have to tell everybody at once. You can tell different people at different times. Like I started, my brother is also trans, and he came out years before I did, and I wasn't even realizing that I was kind of following the same suit. So he was literally the first person I told, and then I didn't talk to anybody else about it for like months. And then I finally felt comfortable enough to, start telling my other friends, like our friend Piyush, started telling you, and just kind of the people I felt comfortable with over time, just who I talked to first. They were the only ones I was saying, hey, use this name, hey, use this pronoun. Everyone else I wasn't really worried about. So I was kind of like living like both sides for a time period, but ability to kind of like weasel your way out into the open kind of helps you mentally. So like once you are fully out, you already know who you are. So like nothing anyone else says really matters at that point. So like definitely just start close. Like even in a family situation, you don't always have to tell your family because they might not always be the ones in your corner. Everybody's situation is different. So definitely realize who your closest people are and start there.
Yeah. I would say the same thing. Like definitely love who you are and don't reject who you are. Right. If you want to live your truth, you have to see your own truth. Like you have to love yourself. For me, I didn't particularly come out to my family. My mother found out through an IG story. And like literally, like I was at work and she was just blowing up my phone, just messaging. Like, what's happening? Who is this? Like, oh, like, yeah, like, are you into this now? Like, what is happening? Because prior to that, my only relationship was from like the age of 18 till like 28. So like that's a chunk of my adulthood was with the same guy. And even in that relationship, like he would say things like, sometimes you have like faggy tendencies or certain things like that. And like at the time, I wasn't living my truth because I didn't want anybody to know my truth. I wasn't in love with who I was because I felt like it was wrong. So by the time my mother found out, I was 30 years old. So like that is so long of just like not wanting to say anything. I didn't say anything to friends. I didn't say anything to anybody because I just felt like anything that got back to my family was just going to be a downhill spiral. Like I've seen the way they react with like gay people or how they just kind of just throw them to the wolves or say things about them. So I'm like, I don't want to be that person.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, as I started living my truth and being who I was happier. I was a lot happier. And like that really helped my family to come to terms with who I was, because it was like, my mom used to always text me like, I've never seen you this happy, even though it took her like a year and a half to 2 years to like accept who I was and who I was in a relationship with. But like just her seeing the overall happiness, like, and my grandmother just being like, you're happy. I'm happy that you're happy. You're shining. Like I can see you shining. And like they started to accept this relationship a lot more. And then they fell in love with Roelle and who she was. And obviously they take her side over me now. So it's gotten to that point where it's like, my family will fight you for her. So like,
That's what it's
even
for.
if like you come out and your family isn't very accepting, give them time. Give them time to adjust, to adapt to that change, and sometimes it's quick, sometimes it takes a while, but if they aren't willing to, if your group is not willing to love who you are, just know that as long as you love who you are, you're going to find people that are going to love you for who you are. So it makes it so much easier as long as you start with yourself.
And that's not easy.
I'm sure it's not easy. Not at all. I know we see a lot more of our youth now finding out at a younger age, what they really like. And one of the things that bother me is some of the older people, usually, like the grandmas and stuff like that, that would say, oh, you don't know nothing, you're too young. And I feel like we don't give our youth enough credit that they deserve. They know what they're into. And I don't think that we should be telling them, you don't know this or you don't know that, because then you're kind of forcing them to live a life that they really don't want to live. Allow them to live that. Sometimes it's going to come out that maybe no, that's not the road that they want to take. But if it is, we need to still love and support our children, because that's what we're here for.
Exactly.
Right. Because they have to experience life the same way we had to experience life. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like, I think my niece came out. After my mom found out about me, like my sister finally was comfortable enough to just be like, I love who I love. And I was like, I understand that, because I'm the same way. But it just got easier. It gets easier. And I feel like it's a little bit easier nowadays to do it. Not saying it's exactly easy depending on your upbringing, but like it's a little bit easier because now LGBT is being more, it's seen more. It's just being in everything.
Right.
So it's being accepted just a little bit more than what it was before. Just a little bit.
Just a little tiny bit. We growing still.
If you had to tell people to be more open, or something that y'all would like to see change as far as like being accepted, what would that be?
Sorry, I coughed in the middle of that.
That's fine. My direct answer to that question would probably be to allow the spaces that we've made to flourish. Because hot take, within the LGBT community, a lot of things keep getting added, and adding more is diluting the essence of what the core movement was for. So it's kind of hard to get other people to understand what we're all fighting for when you keep adding new elements to it, and now we got to try to explain the extra elements, and people don't even understand the original core elements. And that's kind of like my biggest mental gripe with everything. I still love the LGBT to this day, but I just feel like the adding extra stuff that's already in tandem with what we already have is very confusing for those trying to understand, and that just is off-putting for them too. So
I definitely call it the LGBTWDS 40S community. It's just too many letters now. And it's not even out of disrespect, but it definitely is a lot more added. And even I learned things like something new almost every couple of months. And I'm just like, hey, bro, you heard of this? Like, what is this?
I usually have.
Like, what is this? What does this mean? Because I'm like, at this point, we're roping in so many different individuals. Like, someone who is good, like, is straight, can be a part of the LGBT community with so many of the terms that are there. So it's just like, hey, are you like demisexual? Are you this? You're a part of the LGBT community. And some people are just like, oh, no, don't do that. Like, no, I'm not. I'm straight. And it's like, and you start to explain what it is. And it's just like, oh,
That
okay,
makes a lot of sense.
that makes sense. But now I'm part of the LGBT community, or people who are asexual. I was just telling Rob, I was like, I remember when asexual was in like my DSM book for psychology. Like, now it's a part of the LGBT community. And that's whether you're lesbian, bi, gay, queer. If you're asexual, you're now part of the LGBT community. It doesn't matter if you're straight, no matter what you are. It's like, well, now it's part of the LGBT community. So I definitely do understand that gripe of like everything being there, because now like it does cause a lot of confusion. And even with the government and passing different laws and stuff, it's like now there's a lot of confusion with that. So
it's a lot to it, but
yeah,
I think
that's what the awareness is all about.
Right, the awareness is all about.
And
like Roel said, to keep having those safe spaces for everybody to come and talk about it, and learn and stuff like that is very important.
Absolutely. And like I said in one of our previous episodes, like this would definitely fit that mold too. Like roundtables, like physical roundtables, like people getting together and actually learning in person, and just getting to know each other, getting to know what you want to know about. You want to know, then get it from the source. People that are actually living through it. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
But we got some more comments, and it's funny that y'all talking about all the letters that they're adding and stuff like that, because this one says they have strong security here with the LGBTIQA. So what is that?
It's the same community.
Yes. So letter by letter: lesbian, gay, bi, trans, intersex, queer. I forget if A is allied or something else.
I think
it's
A is
asexual. It's either allied or asexual. It's one of those two. And then everything else that falls under.
Okay.
Legitimate qua.
Yes, legitimate qua. Legitimities.
Her question was actually, how do y'all feel about your safety when attending certain events?
I personally, the obliviousness kicks in again, and I'm just completely in the moment. So like, I'm really not worried about my safety, because I feel like I'm with people. I feel like I'm with people that are the same as me. So everyone that's outside, the famous Chris Brown intro, how you gonna hate from outside the club and you can't even get in? That's where my brain is.
Right.
And then for me, I'm just always overprotective. So like, I'm always like, where you going? What you doing? Got your phone? All right, cool. But like, safety wise, I feel safe at almost every event that we go to. I don't think I've ever been to an event where we've ever had like big issues or anything like that. We hear some of our other associates that have issues and things like that, but we've never had that issue. When we meet people, it's very inviting. like even going into like networking events or anything like that. It's very inviting. So I personally like feel safe.
Okay.
I think the only time I ever truly like worried about going to events was when, I mean, and it's still happening, but when there was just like an attack on transgender women. And that was like my fear of like when Roel would go to events by herself. And I would be like, please have your phone. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you at this time, and I'm going to call you at this time, and I'm going to call you at this time. Like, please have your phone. Please answer the text back. I don't care what it is. As long as I hear your voice, you send me a voice message. I don't care. I just need to make sure that, you know, you're good when you're going other places. And she'd be like, you're crazy. But at the same time, I'm like, there was just so much in the news and even in like a lot of the news spreading throughout the LGBT community of just Black trans women just being murdered. And it was just like a series of like, you just saw it back to back to back to back. So like I used to be like panicking, like, is she gonna be okay? Like, I'm sending her to this large event for the whole weekend by herself. Are we sure about this? But over time, like I lightened up. Like I'm like, you know, she's safe. She's around people. There are people there that she knows. I know she'll be okay. Just have to trust, have faith that she'll be good. But yeah, at every event so far, we've been good.
Issues. No one's ever running up to me and just randomly want to do anything to me just because of the fact that I'm trans. I haven't had the experience personally happen to me. I do definitely know what happens, but I can say I haven't had it happen to me.
That's great because, I mean, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I've known, like, okay, I went to school with someone that was born a man that transitioned into a female, and I'm still friends with her to this day on Facebook. One of the dopest people I've ever met in my life. You know what I'm saying? Very dope. She was always very dope in school. Never disrespected nobody or made people feel uncomfortable or nothing like that. She just minded her business and did her thing. You know what I'm saying? And she's still that way to this day. And I've known her. You know what I'm saying? I've known people that were in their truth, and most of the people that I've known or that I know now, they're great people. They just, they just may be a little different than you are, but they're still great people. Every time when you talk to them, great conversation. They funny, loving people. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But see, it's a lot of ignorant people in the world, a lot of closed-minded people. But like Jadakiss always said, the love is always going to overpower the hate. So
yeah,
that's the way I look at it. Now, with everybody in the chat, I don't want anybody to think that we are skipping over your questions or your comments, because what I do is I start them. So we just go in order. Vicky, we saw yours. We got some more. We got some from Annabelle, Jazzy V. So we're about to go through all of them right now.
I saw one question in particular that's great. So I'm waiting for that one.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go through the comments and the questions right now.
I'm not being rude, y'all. I'm being fat. I'm going to order a piece of chicken, and that's why I'm on my phone.
I cannot. And you already gassy.
Give me some.
So Annabelle, welcome in, Annabelle. Oh, real quick, welcome into Dolores, LaGregoria Hardiman. And I'll go back to the chat to make sure I ain't miss nobody. I don't want to miss no names. So Annabelle said, "You are not required to tell anybody anything as long as you know the truth."
That is true.
That is true.
Facts. 100%.
Great comment.
Agreed.
Sonia said, "I was the first person my cousin told years ago. I'll be forever thankful to her for trusting me enough to share such a secret. Till this day, our bond is unbreakable."
I love that.
And I actually know exactly how that feels because I was the first person my brother told.
Right.
So I definitely know like that on the receiving end, how like impactful someone telling something like that to you really, really feels.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's big news. That's like, I mean, because you just never know how people or your family, anybody gonna take it. So
right.
if you can, entrust one person to tell such big news to, or such a secret to, I mean, that's pretty dope. So yeah. No, I'm good. Jazzy V said, I feel like you shouldn't hide who you are. You have to be you and love yourself. If you hide, then don't change what you are. Great,
Yeah,
great,
a lot
great.
a lot of the times the hiding part is more so just like not fully being ready. So
Right.
like I understand
It's like scared.
situational, yeah, exactly. Situational hiding from the world
Right.
makes sense because sometimes you might not be ready to fully come out, and then like if you do it at a time when you're not fully ready, you're just gonna kind of recede back into that background. So definitely I understand that as well.
There you go. Great comment. Great comments and questions so far, y'all. We loving them. Our guests are loving them. Keep them coming. I was so glad. Sipping with Share Magic said, I was so glad when my nephew finally came out. I already figured it out, but I was relieved for him that he could start living his life for who he was.
And that is true. A lot of the times the parents, like the family knows.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll just like either crack a joke about it, but the
Yeah.
family usually knows.
That's waiting for you to say something.
It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you know what? That's funny you say that because, like, they'll put that narrative in like the TV shows and the movies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could tell when it's the truth, but they just waiting for them to tell them the truth. So they can just, like, I already knew. Just it's fine. We were just waiting for you to, be comfortable with telling us. You know what I'm saying? So that's a pretty dope situation when the family's already hesitant in their mind. Okay, we're gonna accept it. We just wait for him to say it.
Right.
Period.
I think that's pretty dope. Let's see.
Don't push it at all.
Right, don't push it, exactly. Don't force it out of them on anything like that. Let's see. Vicky's World said, I've accepted that I'm a safe place for many LGBTQ, and I will continue to be that safe place.
We love that.
Yeah, Vicky is very dope. Like,
yes, she is very, very inspirational.
Yes. And Vicky also has a great question as well. She said, okay, I have a question. How do you accept those that identify as animals? There is a middle schooler that identifies as a cat, and the nurse's office has to have a litter box for that person.
So that's different.
Alrighty then.
I've only seen that in like the furry community. I don't think I've ever.
And the funny thing for me is I've only seen that in the kink community, which is not something that a middle schooler should be a part of. But
right.
But the overall way to approach it is to just let them be the cat that they want to be. Really, just don't overthink it. Just let them be the cat that they want. Because in most situations, and this is just me just talking generally here, but like in most situations, like the really outlandish pronouns, identities, and such like that are quote unquote phases. So they're gonna kind of like do that because they see that, hey, I can be whatever I want. I want to be this. And then as they grow, if it doesn't stick, they'll just kind of recede back into what they actually want to be. But for a middle schooler, I feel like it's just kind of like that freedom of expression kind of feel where you don't want to like dwindle their shine, but you don't want them to go too crazy at the same time. So just let them have it. Let them do what they want to do. Let them be who they want to be so that as they continue to grow, they'll just kind of fall into where they actually want to be. Because if you just start saying, no, you can't do that, or this isn't right, blah, 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 or anything like that that's really strong and abrasive, they're just going to kind of shut in and not want to do anything at that point. So I feel like that's exactly
might end up making a persona.
It could be that. They could go into a full-fledged furry thing that can either go crazy or it can be tame, but you'll never know because you push them away.
There you go.
That's a whole another thing.
I knew nothing about that. Now, what I will say is that
nothing at all.
I saw people walking around with like tails hanging out the back of their pants and stuff like that. But
there are people that do dress up there called furries, It's a persona. They create a whole. So I don't know how this middle schooler is doing it, but they will create a whole another character for themselves, similar like a persona, like a Sasha Fierce.
Okay.
But it's an animal, and they will live out their life how they see it in their head. Like, this is me, like I'm a cat. This is my day to day. This is what I'm going to look like. This is what my cat is going to look like. So there definitely is a community for that. And they're called furries.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm surprised that's not in our alphabet soup.
Furries?
Yeah, all right, y'all, let's get back to the comments and questions. Mama Bear said everyone should have the right to be who they choose to love. I'm sorry, everyone should have the right to be who they choose to love no matter what.
They should.
They should.
Like, I don't understand the mindset of you being over here in your corner with your marriage, and then you look over at someone else and be like, I don't like your marriage. What does that do for you? I don't get it.
Vicky has me done.
I mean, you know, some people just want to be involved. Some people want to be a part of. Some people want to just be nosy, very judgmental. Like, it's a lot of people out here that just be in the way, bro. Like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? In all ways. You know? So, let me start at.
Sonia, you saying you ain't never heard it, but you heard it. You heard Janice tell you what she done seen in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Lady Red. Hey, Auntie Simply.
What's going on, everybody? Anybody that's coming in?
How y'all doing?
Y'all for being here for episode 31 of the Social Den with our special guests, Anisha and Roel Waters. And y'all, we are going through.
I love Roel.
And the chat is on fire tonight with all of these awesome comments and questions. And we still not done. We still got a couple more. Let's see. And said, how can you claim to be pro-life and turn around and throw away your child if they are LGBTQ? That's true.
That is a really good question. And I really feel like that is just all in that person's beliefs. I think it's wild that you could be like, you know, save that child, abortion is bad, and then just toss your kid out to the streets, like show no love for your own child. I ask those questions to myself, honestly, like, how can you turn around and love, like, put so much love into like a community or a child that's not yours, but you can't love your own child? And it's actually very common. It's really common. Like, just because they decide to be a part of the LGBT community, or they're living their best life or living who they want to be. And it's just like, so you can go out and love XYZ at this community, or accept my friends and be nice and friendly with my friends, but then I come in through the door and it's just like, ugh, like, why are you even here?
Yeah.
It's really hurtful, but I honestly feel like it's all in that person's belief. Like, yeah, I believe in saving a child in the womb, but I don't believe in the LGBT community. Like, I just feel like that's just wrong.
And it doesn't make sense when you try to put the two together. It makes absolutely no sense, because if you're fighting tooth and nail to save this child, but if you knew that said child that was in the womb was going to grow up gay, what are you going to do there?
Yeah.
Because no one's going to know until they're already here, and they already out in the what do you call the world? The space, the internet, the world. Yes, that.
And it's sad. It is sad. Like, I mean, I grew up in the backwaters of Maryland, and I've heard some wild stuff. I've literally heard someone say they would kiss a poisonous snake before they let a gay person touch them or come into their home. So it's like, you're willing to die before you even let a person just say hi to you.
Or just come in and fix your TV.
Like, yeah, it's just
so simple,
so crazy.
Wow.
It's like,
wow.
Yeah, so, you know, it happens. It really is just that those people's beliefs. Like, that's what you believe. Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
What's going on, East Dad?
Hey, East Dad, welcome in.
All right, y'all. So let's get back to the questions. House of X asks, how is the trans visibility in your hometown?
I feel like it's good. Like, well, wait, my hometown, hell no. Maybe in your hometown, but my hometown it's definitely frowned upon. Like I'm from Berlin, Maryland, Salisbury, that Ocean City area. It is not viewed as anything nice. I don't even think it's accepted. Like, I don't know. Even when we go down to visit and we go into a store, it's just kind of like, but at the same time, it's a small town. Like, I don't know. I'm not explaining it, but it's not something that they see day to day. So it's just it's falling on like deaf ears and ignorance. So I don't think I've ever seen anyone else in like the Berlin area that's actually walking around as their transgender self. I don't know anyone from any of the schools that I attended in between Berlin and Salisbury that are transgender. Gay, yes. Lesbian, yes. Bi, yes. But not transgender, or at least not still living in that town. And even when we're in my hometown, it's the looks of just like disgust. And you can just see it. And then they'll literally, like, if we're in a store, walk down that same aisle and act like they're picking stuff up just to be like, like what is that? Like, who are you? And what is that? And why are you with that? What is that?
Sir, why are you over there looking at that bra, sir? Why?
Right.
Why?
Right.
He ain't even paying attention, and the whole time he's squeezing on the bra. Trying
to be nosy.
Right.
Oh man. All right, y'all.
Hey, Diva Mom.
What's up, Diva Mom? All right, let's get back to the comments and questions.
That's fine.
Let's see.
We're almost done.
We're almost done. We don't want to keep y'all too long. Simply said, more parents and families should remove their old beliefs and hatred. Be understanding. You'll be surprised.
They really should. Simply, I think
that
a lot of things, not just with this here topic, but with a lot of things.
Absolutely. Old school. I understand being old school, but damn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what I always say, my biggest turning point mentally was when I came out to my grandmother, because I just knew in my heart and soul she was going to be the one to flip every table in the house and just be upset. But when I finally told her, like, hey, I'm trans, and she was just like, oh, maybe I know. I just wanted you to tell me. I was like, what? What are we talking about here? Because like she was the person telling me like gay's bad, don't do this, be a boy, do boy things, all that. All my life growing up, she was the one saying that. And when I finally come out to her, she just says, okay, like I'm confused here.
Right.
So I feel like if my grandmother can do it in her
and my grandfather
golden years.
Right.
I feel like anybody should be able to do that because she is stubborn. And I know how stubborn she is because I'm just as stubborn as she is. So I don't want to hear anything else but you can do it. Thank you.
Yeah. And my grandfather used to be that same person that's just like, oh, don't do that. That's gay and stuff. And then when he met Roel, it was like, well, who's this beautiful woman you're bringing in here? And I was like, that was me coming out to my grandfather at that point. But I was like, that is my partner. That's who I'm dating right now. And he just looks at me and he goes, take care of her.
You missed one line.
What was that?
He was like, you sure know how to pick them.
You know, he told me, like, you know, take care of her. Like, I get good vibes from her. And I was like, all right.
Ain't nothing like that OG humor, man. I swear. Ain't nothing like
Come on, Sharice.
I'm glad we're on this side of the screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, CJ.
Sorry.
All right, y'all. So let's see. Vicky says, so on a serious note, do you wholeheartedly believe you are born to be different, or was it something that grew on you?
For me, I feel like I was born to not be what I was assigned as. And the only reason I say that is because I have memories as far like the moment, you know how we always have that one moment where you just randomly appear in the world, like everything before that you don't remember being a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I have memories from like around that time where I just started realizing I was in the world, where I had the thought of I wish I was a girl instead. Like that young, I still had those thought processes, and I remember them very daily at this point. So I was just like, if I was able to transition sooner, this could have happened, that could have happened, this could have happened, that could have happened. Yeah, it's kind of like those what if conversations you have with yourself. So I definitely felt like being assigned male at birth was the plan,
Right.
but the plan was also we're not going to stick with that.
Right.
So I don't know exactly how to pick one of your choices for your question, but I do feel as though everything that has happened was supposed to happen. So I'm going to go with that option C.
No, not.
All right, let's see. House of X said there are some people that can see. Here we go. Here we go. Right?
Let us.
LGBTQTGNC.
That's a good one for you.
Nah, don't ask me that.
Well, there's some people that can have LGBTQ plus. We're gonna go plus.
I don't know what
friends
the TNC is,
but can't have a child of the community. Because
Oh, okay.
Technically,
I'm caught up now. I'm here. I understand why it's for me.
it's a really good question for you, like a really good thing for you because your mom.
Yes. So, as I was also saying, my mom was the hardest person to come out to, actually. And to give you context, my mom came out to me before I came out to her as a lesbian. And I was just like, okay, that's good. Then I kind of figured, but I still feel the same about you.
I'm sorry, Vicky's commenting through me.
So like knowing that we already had that moment where you opened up to me, I thought like, oh, this is gonna be a piece of cake. I'm just gonna say it. She's gonna say everything's fine, and it's gonna be it. So she's driving me. I don't know where we were going, but I was in the car. I look over, no music was playing, no nothing. I was like, hey, Ma, I am trans. And she looks over, looks back at the road because she's somewhat of a safe driver, and she says, "You want to be a girl?" And I was like, more so like I am a girl. She said, and we don't say nothing else for the whole car ride. That was the most awkward situation that could have happened. When I thought this was going to be a piece of cake, I thought it was going to be a walk in the park. I thought it was going to be everything easy. But even months after, she was like, "Are you sure you want to be a girl? Like, you're my only little boy," and all this stuff that I just was not expecting from my mom. That's also in the community. Like, I didn't understand. And then I later find out there is a running rivalry between lesbians and trans people. So like, I don't know if she was a part of that or not. I never really got into it because, like I said, I'd be staying in my own world. I didn't really feel accepted in that moment. She's kind of turned 180 degrees now, but I still don't feel like it's genuine, so I don't talk to her too much. But yeah, that was like the hardest person to actually come out to was my mom.
Wow.
Welcome in, Soulful Eats. How are you, beautiful?
What up, Soulful Eats? All right, y'all. Let me make sure I ain't missing nobody. Okay. All right. Let's see. Sonia said, if my children
That's a good question.
was in the alphabet community, my fat ass gonna be wearing all the colors, and I'm gonna be
I love Sonia.
Oh, that's right.
I love that.
All of the colors.
Dolores said, "How do you feel about trans people in sports?" I asked because AEW is fine because Nyla Rose, a trans woman, wrestled a woman.
So I've actually heard about this exact situation, and I wrestle myself, so I know like the behind the scenes parts of some wrestling shows, and it's actually really unfortunate that AEW decided to keep that old rule like still in place. Because it goes back to what we were saying about how like some of the older generations really need to just change their mindset. Because if you are familiar with the WWE anytime recently, Rhea Ripley has been doing squash matches with men consistently.
Right.
Over in Japan, they have mixed tag matches like every other week. Why is AEW still holding on to this older rule where like Nia Jax is not a small person, and most of the I said the wrong person. Nyla Rose, that's her name. She is not a small individual. She's a bigger girl.
Right.
So
right.
if you have her wrestle some of the guys that she can throw around easily and wrestle safely, what's actually the problem here? The old rule was in place because all the girls in the what do you call it? On the roster, thank you, were sticks, and all the guys were muscleheads. And that's why they weren't supposed to wrestle, because the smallest thing, no matter how controlled it was, would get them injured. So they would be fined if y'all did that. Now, like, people are every type of size. So if you get the right person on the right person, it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to add to that because a lot of people, I've heard it come from a lot of people, including like some people in my family, where it's like, oh, a trans woman, that's not fair. They got so much testosterone and trained like a man, XYZ. And my thought process always cuts back to I've been with Roel on her journey the entire time. And as someone who is transitioning, one, they're not as strong as a male. The hormones, when they start kicking in, they become weaker. They become like a little bit more feeble in those first rounds of hormones. And then when they get to that second level of hormones, I always tell people like Roel has more estrogen in her blood than I do. So like we can't always just be like, oh, it's the testosterone, it's the ability to, do the things that men can do. At one point in time, I lifted way more than what Roel did. I literally was benching like 200 plus, whereas Roel was not. So it's like, even as a male, wasn't doing that much. And then even transitioning wasn't doing that much. So like, I always just tell people like, when you be like, oh, they won because they're a man, that's not true. I can't like, you can't always just keep saying like, oh, they won because they're a man, because they're actually a little bit weaker depending on where they are in their transition. And like I've seen it with Roel, I've seen it with her brother also transitioning. Like they're actually weak, a little bit more feeble in that first part of their transition. And then as they go on, it's like now you're more on that level of, oh look, now your estrogen levels are a lot higher, or for the males, your testosterone levels are a lot higher. So you start to see those differences and things like that. And I'm just like, just let it go. A lot of them get into sports and lose anyway. So
that was gonna be my point.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of discourse only comes when a trans individuals in sports win. You don't hear about it ever when they lose. So like it's obviously not that big of an issue for you, because at the end of the day, gender doesn't define skill. So how much sweat and effort you put into your passion or your sport of passion, that's what's really going to make the difference at the end of the day. If one person is there's a trans woman whose name I cannot remember, who was a powerlifter. She was putting in work. She was doing her workouts more than everyone else in the league, and she ended up winning. But there was giant discourse because she was a trans woman, but she also had higher estrogen levels after they decided to do testing than a lot of the other cis women in the league. So at that point, what really are you looking for?
And 9 times out of 10, it's usually trans women.
Right.
You don't hear about trans males in sports, really.
Right.
No.
Ooh, man, y'all giving us it's a lot of information, man. But we loving it. The chat is loving it. Annabelle said, "Oh my God, there are people that think trans women are trying to replace them, which I think is totally ignorant."
Yeah.
Get them all out of there. It's our turn. That's not the case in the slightest.
Soulful Eat said, "I wish I would have had a chance to come out to my mama." Yeah.
Felt.
I understand that.
Let's see. Base Chick said, "Parents have these fantasies and preconceived notions of how and what their child is going to be before even allowing their child to learn who they are themselves. They can't accept anything different." You better talk, Base Chick.
Yeah,
because I was supposed to be a straight A student, and
I ain't got time for you.
And, Annabelle said, "Notice how the argument from female to male sports are not even talked about."
exactly.
Yep.
It's only situations where people are winning, because there was actually a recent boxing bout where a female and a male boxer, first match that they've ever done that was like actually recorded, lost in the first round in I think like 50 seconds or something like that. And I only happen to see it because I'm following a very particular page about trans people in sports, and they reported like his first match like going in whatever the circuit's called, but ain't nobody hear about that.
Yeah. And I believe that's the name that of the powerlifter you was talking about earlier.
Got you.
I believe
I cannot remember their name to save my life.
Annabelle said, in the entire nation, there are 46 trans athletes. And this is what the country is fighting over. Like, we don't have bigger issues on our hands. Facts.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, big facts.
Priorities are not straight.
at all.
At least not in the US.
I was about
the priority to get
words right out my mouth. Not in the US, they not. That's for damn sure. I.e. TikTok. But we ain't even gonna talk about that. But shout outs to the 20 million in the building, y'all. And we appreciate everybody with every single question, every single comment. It is 8:24, so we are about to depart. But we appreciate every single person in this chat. Y'all were great tonight. All of the comments, the questions, everybody that came through. Chocolate Drop, we saw you. Welcome in.
Hey, Chocolate Drop.
And if anybody, I hope we didn't miss anybody. I don't think we missed anybody.
I don't think so.
But you two have been awesome.
Yes.
I try.
Definitely. I'm gonna call y'all the Waterses.
Not the Waterses. The Waterses.
Waterses.
It's this.
Yeah, you gotta put that at the end because it's already water, so you gotta say Waterses.
Yeah, like anytime you have an S at the end and you try to say it something more, you gotta add a lot.
Yeah, so, a whole lot.
I get it. I understand. We here.
Y'all know CJ is retarded.
I cannot.
We definitely
I love it though.
Appreciate you two for coming tonight. We hope that you two enjoyed yourselves. Thank you so much for being so transparent and answering every single question and commenting on every single comment. You know, we definitely appreciate y'all. Let's see. Hold on. I saw something. Such a great live and topic. Have a great night. Okay. I just want to make sure I ain't miss anything. I truly appreciated y'all transparency. Auntie Vicky is here.
Oh, appreciate you, Vicky.
This is one of the best episodes ever. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for being here every single week. Is there anything that you two would like to say to the people before we depart?
Before I end every segment that I do, I have 3 things that I always say. Did you want to say something before I say those?
I was just gonna say thank you for having us. I know what you're about to say, but thank you for having us. And if you do want to follow us on our socials, it is exactly how it is, Zakai and Royal the Rabbit. Mine is analytical Zakai on like everything, but
I'm Royal the Rabbit on everything.
It is.
but
And I think I could throw it up real quick without being all like. All right, there it is.
The three things that I usually like to say before I leave any type of anything that I do is stay sassy, stay classy, and always be socially acceptable.
I love it. I love it. I do want to point out before we leave, we have a request. Says we have to do a part 2 next season. So if you two are willing to come back when we start up next season, we would love to have y'all back for a part 2.
Absolutely.
Definitely. We'll be back for a part 2.
I gotta flip a coin on that first. Hold on a second. All right, we're good.
I said we coming back.
And to everybody in the chat, again, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for being respectful, as y'all always are. Thank you for being positive and
Absolutely.
making our guests feel at home and comfortable. And we will see y'all next Wednesday, same time, same place, 7 p.m. for episode 32 of The Social Den.
Yes, y'all.
So
we're gonna give y'all a break from seeing these faces.
Because next week is the last one, y'all, forever.
That's the season for
So,
now, y'all.
Yeah,
Make sure y'all tell somebody that you love them, because tomorrow is not promised.
Absolutely.
And we will see y'all next week.
Yep. And Anisha and Roel, if y'all don't mind, let's stay backstage. We'll just say a couple more words to y'all before we let y'all go.
Okay.
All right. And we will see y'all next week. We love y'all. Peace. Wash y'all ass, like I always say. You know what I'm saying? Put lotion on your ankles, because that's not cute. Like
properly.
But your ankles be ashy.
All right, we gone. All right.